Just talk about what happened, because damn, bro. I've mentioned in past streams that like celebrity deaths don't really affect me. And this doesn't affect me in like, oh my God, I'm devastated that we lost Charlie Kirk. It's more like, holy fuck, that's a content creator that just got offed for, you know, voicing his opinions and doing what he does. And I don't know. I relate to it as a content creator myself. Not that I'm going on school campuses and having those difficult discussions and conversations with people, but it's more about like, fuck, if it can happen to Charlie Kirk, like it could happen to anybody who has a platform. If somebody doesn't like the things that you say, they can take matters into their own hands and go cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs, bro. So when I say it affects me, that's what I mean. That's the kind of reaction I'm having right now. So I'm okay. I'm like physically healthy. I'm doing all right. Mentally, I'm in my feels though. Emotionally, I feel fucking so bad for his family, bro. His wife and kids. The political climate in the States is getting to a bit of a boiling point. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Everybody needs to become a Buddhist and chill the fuck out. This week has been fucking insane. Between Ukrainian girls getting stabbed on the train or the bus or whatever the fuck that was, to Charlie Kirk getting shot on a school campus, which is a gun-free zone, by the way, might I add. Somebody should let the shooter know. I'm honestly more intrigued by the responses to it. I really, really am, because a lot of true colors are coming out. I was on socials earlier, and the way there were some people like legit celebrating it. I'm like, you guys are fucking pieces of garbage human beings, if I can even call you that. I'm too chill to get in that much trouble. Bro, you'd be surprised. You'd be fucking surprised. I just had a friend list cleanse on my socials. There were some straight up pieces of shit in my socials, and I had to do a cleanse, and I'm so fucking glad I did. This was yesterday, by the way. This was before I probably just got demonetized from that. Thanks, Disney. Dude, I'm going through some straight up character development right now. I see the good in people too much. I really, really do. I see the good in people too much, and it's going to be my undoing one of these days. People abuse empathy. I see so many people talk about empathy and be like, you need to have empathy. You need to be more empathetic. It's like, fuck you. I really don't, because I know I'm empathetic, and the fact that you don't see that tells me that you're probably the psychopath, to be honest with you. If you can't put yourself in my shoes, but you expect me to do the same for you, get the fuck out. Like, straight up, I'm so over being nice to people who don't deserve it. You're so mad about the whole thing, says Doink. Your sister was there, and she had to witness that. Dude, straight up. Straight up. Imagine they missed. Like, imagine they missed Charlie and got one of the students. All to try to make some political statement. Was I a fan of Mr. Kirk, Mr. Turkish Delight? I wouldn't say, like, a fan. I mean... Sure, I guess you could call me a fan. I wasn't a religious viewer of his. His videos would come up on my feed every now and again, and if it was a topic I was interested in, I would click on it and listen to the interactions. And sometimes, you know, I was in for a treat. He actually had some really good conversations with a couple students. So I wouldn't say I'm a fan in the sense that, like, I had Charlie Kirk merch, you know what I mean? But I would watch him if he popped up, sure. I was just telling the chat earlier that the reason this has fucked me up so much is just I see it from the perspective of a content creator, you know? And I know he was more than just a YouTuber. Let's be fair. Like, that guy was actually, you know, influencing politics with Turning Point USA. The lag is really bad on in this lobby. Yeah, that's Pajama Dooku, absolutely. Best skin in the game, bro. The most comfortable man in the galaxy. It's like that Dos Equis commercial, you know? I don't always wear PJs, but when I do, I prefer the finest Corellian silk. Will never understand people who think causing violence when you don't have to will help solve problems. I wish I could read. No, I agree with you, man. I was making the point that best way to counter bad ideas isn't with better ideas. It's with bullets. Apparently. Oh, I just saw that. Yup, found another piece of shit in the chat. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're like little rats. Scurrying everywhere. Oh yeah, Santiago. Can't say anything because I'm not American and can't delve into politics regarding the US. But you can't say that about someone who died while having a speech in a college or whatever it is. Yeah, he was just having conversations with people. And that's too much for some people to bear. They can't defeat his ideas with better ideas, so they have to resort to guns. It's intellectual inferiority. It's pussy shit. Why all the haters in chat today? I mean, the topic is contentious. I fully expected there people to be on the other side who didn't like Charlie Kirk coming in here to say their piece. I fully expected it. Curious if other creators like him use bulletproof glass moving forward. Dude, same way presidents and stuff do. Abso-fucking. If you're going to be in a public setting like that where the threat is real, yeah, 100%. 100%. We'll see the more high-profile ones moving with paid security now. Like, they're going to have to vet each of these. It's cooked, man. Like, that Uzi guy was saying that the world is less cooked because of this. Nah, the world is more cooked. They made him a martyr, and now tensions are even higher. This is nothing but a bad thing. This is a net negative, no matter which way you look at it. And what was exactly what your dad said? Because if your dad agrees with me, then he's a smart guy. Oh, Unfold Products. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. What are my thoughts on Charlie Kirk? Dead. Do I agree with his politics? I don't agree with all of his politics, but there were some things that he said that I thought were absolutely brilliant, and I think he, had it right on a lot of things. There were, of course, things that I thought he didn't have right, but, that's the beautiful thing, is that you don't have to agree with everything somebody says. I think it's a travesty that somebody thought, it was okay to take him out like that. I've said it a couple times already. Like, I'll just repeat it because I don't know if you're still in here, but the reason it fucks me up is because as a content creator myself, it makes me feel like for the ideas that I hold or the words that I say, there can be real world consequences that far outweigh the act. The real consequences that outweigh the crime, so to speak, right? Like the crime of having an idea. And it makes me feel like I need to watch myself now, you know what I mean? And I don't want to. That's one of the things I absolutely fucking hate. I'm not a free speech absolutist in the sense that, like, you can't shout fire in a crowded movie theater, right? But I'm as close to a free speech purist as it's possible to be. Like, I think it is one of the cornerstones of society in general. I mean, I live in the States, so I can only speak for, my country. I was going to make a point with that, but my mind is kind of everywhere. I'm focusing on the game. I'm thinking about, like, what it means for other content creators. Somebody else in chat brought up how other creators, when they have these kinds of public meetups, like, they're going to start straight up carrying bulletproof glass and, like, armed security with them and everything. And that's the exact right attitude to have, Keon. Like, you can dislike him, you can disagree with his ideas, but if you celebrate or cheer for what happened to him, you're an actual measurable piece of shit. We can measure your piece of shittery in fucking units. He uses the metric system. Am I using his name in my stream to boost clout, or do I genuinely care? Both. It's a hot talking point. People are going to click on the video and discuss it. But I do also genuinely care because I feel like it affects me and other people like me who have platforms and who have ideas that some people might deem unfavorable or they might disagree with it. It's apples and oranges because his platform was way bigger than mine. It's way different than mine. I'm a gaming channel, but to say I completely disagreed with Charlie Kirk would be lying. And the political climate has just gotten so extreme. Most people, and I was talking about this on my politics channel. I know Fox and some other people like Quentin were there, and we were talking about it. I firmly believe most people are good. They want to do good. They don't want to hurt anybody. Even if they have different ideas from somebody, they can keep it pushing. They can disagree and just go about their ways. But I feel like more and more the extremes and the fringes are becoming more than just a vocal minority. They're still a minority, but I feel like their numbers are growing. The climate just feels unhinged. Also, can't help but notice that most of these assassination attempts are coming from one side. But yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest about using the name to boost clout. Yeah, 100%. It's going to get people in here and talking about it. Of course I want eyeballs. Of course I want people to watch my content. And I'm not going to beat around the bush and lie and be like, no, I'm not using his name to boost views. Yeah, I 100% am. Does that make me a piece of shit? Sure, call me a piece of shit. But I'm an honest piece of shit. How did that not hit the Vader? I know bro's just aura farming right now. Take the sky. Dude, you better not be a fucking Republican. What if I am? I'm curious. Hypothetically speaking, what if I were a Republican? What would happen? No, I myself don't identify as a Republican. I don't think I ever could. I don't identify as a Republican or a Democrat. I think both mainstream political parties are absolute garbage and sold out this country and its children generations ago. So, no, I'm not a Republican. Nor am I a Democrat. I am simply the Star Bazaar. I want to point out how interesting it is, though. I make a stream that's ambiguous about, you know, where I kind of stand on the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I guess kind of not really, because, you know, I have Anakin crying in the thumbnail, so you could reasonably assume that I feel bad about it. But that's so interesting that, you know, we have people come into the stream and wonder my political affiliation because of something like that. And it's like, oh, you better not be a Republican or I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going to unsubscribe from the racist Republican. I think we can have conversations about real world things and real world issues without boiling it down to the most simplistic lens, which is looking at it through those labels. I hate the labels, personally. I was saying this in my politics channel last week. I know Fox was there. You remember me saying that the labels are trash, dude. The labels suck. It's like, call yourself whatever you will, but don't worry too much about what other people call you, because chances are they don't have the right idea about the kind of person you are. It's shocking when anyone dies, but when you voice political opinions, you make enemies. It shouldn't be any justification to get shot. You can make enemies all you want, but if you're the type of person who's going to shoot somebody because you disagree with their political opinions, you are weak of mind and spirit. You're a weak fucking person if that's what you have to resort to. Bad ideas need to get countered with good ideas. Star-spitting facts. I have opinions about this, dude. I have opinions about this, and my compassion for people is slipping very quickly. I'm starting to feel it. Actual character development in real time. You're worried they're going to come for Joe next? Joe Rogan? Yeah. It's insane. Just the climate. You know, thinking about Joe Rogan really kind of puts it in perspective, because it still, to this day, blows my mind that he kind of became a darling child for the right wing, which is such a far cry from where he started. Here's the thing, this is why it's interesting, is because he didn't go to the right. You know what I mean? There's that phrase from years ago, I didn't leave the left left me. That's 1,000% what happened to Joe Rogan, because he's a lefty, he's a liberal. He has traditionally left-wing ideas and beliefs, but because he has the audacity to platform people that have opposing political viewpoints, some people want to label him a right-winger because he actually wants to talk to right-wingers and get to the root of their ideas. Yeah, I lost my stun here. I'm cooked. So it's like you've got somebody who isn't even a right-winger who gets called a right-winger, and that's just where we're at now. You know what I mean? I blame establishment politics and legacy media. They instilled the us versus them mentality in everybody. I jokingly, it was half joking because I think Fox, you asked me something similar, and I jokingly said, it was on the politics stream, I jokingly said I blame Donald Trump for like the political climate, which I don't blame him directly, I blame him indirectly. If he weren't such a charged and, you know, politically divisive figure, it wouldn't be so bad. But he is, and, you know, people lost their fucking minds over it on both sides. It's not even whether you're right or left wing at this point. It's whether you're a fan of Trump or you're not a fan of Trump. That's what the political ideologies boil down to. It's ridiculous. Because if you're a fan of Trump, you could even have ideas that, you know, Trump himself doesn't, like, agree with, right? Oh, God damn it. I was too close. Or I guess vice versa. Trump could have ideas that you don't agree with, but you could still, I guess, technically, like, be a fan of the guy. You know what I mean? But if you say that, if you openly say that, you know, Donald Trump sometimes has good ideas, Donald Trump sometimes gets it right, automatically you are a right-wing, conservative, Republican extremist, and it's bullshit. It's absolutely fucking bullshit. We should be able to look at things on a case-by-case basis, on issue-by-issue, and the political party you subscribe to, it really shouldn't fucking matter. Like, these are literal battle lines that get drawn in the culture, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be literally killing each other over which politician we like or don't like. I don't know how else to put it. It's just insane. Oh, you were talking about Joe Mama. Fuck, my bad. I went on this whole political tangent thinking it was Joe Rogan, but no, he's just talking about my moms. You ever watch that show? This is your show, your mama. And they just insult each other for money. I think it was on MTV, like, years ago. You almost choked on your meat pie, swallowed the wrong way. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I'm doing all right, man, for having performance anxiety before going live. I'm killing it right now. I'm on top of the world. Yes, 100% Darth Sion. Precisely. Oh, and I was reading Stone Mandalorian's message, but I think I got distracted. Yeah, very sad. No one deserves to die for the way they think, as long as you're not hurting people or stealing or forcing beliefs on someone else. No one deserves to die for freedom of speech. And I know that the argument on the other side is that he's a divisive and controversial figure who spreads ideas that could have like ramifications down the line. You know what I mean? And he actually has influence over politics. His organization, Turning Point USA, like they do meet with the actual Republican Party and they discuss policy and change like that. So he does actually have influence. And that's the argument on the other side, is that, well, you know, he has the power to actually make change. But what the other side doesn't get is that alone is not justification to kill somebody. The reason they feel that way is because he has the power to enact change that they disagree with. They don't align with his politics, and because he has the actual like mechanisms to make those politics a reality, it's like they get freaked out by it. This is what happens when extremists are allowed to be extremists. Charlie was paramount in turning the younger demographic to conservatism, and the liberals will have you say that right there is the problem, and that's why he had to go, because he was turning people to the wrong side. You know what I mean? Crazy. It's absolutely crazy that political affiliation is costing people their actual lives now. It's bonkers, man. These are the kinds of conversations I would be having on the other channel, by the way. I'm actually stoked that I can talk about this on the Star Bazaar. Probably a good thing I didn't monetize this stream. It's crazy how invested people get into the different sides of the political spectrum. It is. And politics should be such a personal thing. It's become not personal over the years. I remember growing up, people just didn't talk about politics because it was just kind of live and let live. You know what I mean? But these days, everything is politicized. Literally everything. And again, I mentioned it earlier, I kind of half ironically, half unironically blame Donald Trump, because ever since he ran for president the first time, the climate of the country has just been, it's like you're either on one side or you're on the other. There's no in between. If you are in between, then the people on either side will label you as the opposite. You know what I mean? Because you're not agreeing with them. So clearly you're the enemy. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. This is the work of the Sith, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is based in politics, Spring Ape. To not pay attention to it means you're not paying attention to what's going on in your life. I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to pay attention to politics because it's fucking obnoxious. It really is. And again, it should just be your business, you know? It took me a long time to get into it. I was apolitical for many, many years. I don't think I got into politics until I was like 22, 23-ish, 24. Like I was a late bloomer. I remember having conversations with friends who were into politics at the time, and they're like, you need to pay it. Basically the exact same thing that you just said. It's like, you need to get into it because it's important, which is true, but it's also not for everybody. But that's kind of the problem, is that everything is so politicized that by not being a part of the conversation, you're going to get dragged into it eventually. Silence is violence. Or so they say. Or so they tell me. Yeah, exactly, Spring Ape. It's not about paying attention to the environment, but people to make it their personality is crazy to me. It's a virtue signal. It's a long-form virtue signal. The people who make it their entire personality, it's the same thing as people who put like pronouns in their Twitter bio, or they put all the different flags of the world to show their solidarity for whatever cause of the week. It's literally virtue signaling. That's why they make it their entire personality, is because they're trying to appeal to people who think like them and also sort of figure out who's on what side. It's like, okay, so this is who I am. This is what I believe. If you have a problem with it, you're clearly the enemy, right? You sort of got into it when you were 15, says Fox, but you weren't really shown both sides and only saw leftist ideals until just a few years ago. Dude, straight up same. 100% the same thing. And it wasn't so much that I wasn't shown the conservative Republican side. It's that I fell into the trap of being convinced that my side was 100% correct on every single issue, and the other side was wrong because they disagreed. It was basically the same attitude that a lot of people have today. And I'm so happy that I fell out of it, because once I started actually paying attention to the other side and seeing what they believed, it made me realize that they're not as crazy or radical as I once thought they were. They're actually pretty sane and rationally minded. They have good logic behind their ideas. Even if I disagree with the idea, I can understand where it's coming from. It's not coming from a place of hate. It's just a different way of looking at the world. And if anything, it made my beliefs even stronger, because now I understand where it comes from, and I have the foundation. I think it's very healthy to explore the other side. I identify as center left. Like, I call myself a liberal all the time. I'll jokingly call myself a libtard. Like, I think it's fucking hilarious because, yeah, the liberals are usually fucking retarded. But I like watching conservative and right-wing points of view because it's not my point of view, right? I want to understand what the other side is thinking, and the only way I can do that is to listen to it straight from the horse's mouth. I don't like going based off of headlines or what other people are saying about it. Like whenever somebody says, oh, this guy was, you know, he's a racist Republican, I'm like, is he really? Oh, this guy's a homophobe, this guy's a transphobe, I'm like, is he really? Like, can we like go into his history and see what this person actually said? I guarantee you they're not what you're accusing them of being. We are all people at the end of the day, and even if we have ideas that other people find unfavorable, we should be able to keep it pushing. Just straight up, live and let live. That's my attitude about it. I have matured in my own beliefs to the point where it's like if I'm engaging with somebody who believes the literal opposite of what I believe, right? I am so far past belittling them or attacking them for it. I would much rather engage in open dialogue. And that's so funny thinking back to the beginning of the stream, how I was talking about, you know, not giving a fuck about people's emotions and like not showing compassion to people who don't deserve it. There's a difference, you know, it's like if I'm having an honest discussion about something, then I'll have an honest discussion. But if it degrades to name calling, fuck yeah, I'll play that game. Bitch. I'm very filtered on this channel because it is the channel where I'm monetized, and if I say things that YouTube doesn't like, there goes my livelihood. So I try to filter myself, but today I'm out of fucks to give. I'm just saying it how it is. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I will see you on Friday. Take care, everybody. Yes, new video will be hype. I'm looking forward to it myself. All right, dudes, have a good night. I'll see you Friday.